it's always been my belief, yeah. You know, you can put as much blame on the manager as you want. You can say he's not signing the players. You can say whatnot, yeah. But at the end of the day, I know from working, yeah, I'm not given a blank checkbook. I might get responsibilities, yeah. But I'm to handle petty cash or something like that. But I'm not given it.
But you have to consult higher ups before you can make a decision.
Precisely. So at the end of the day,
some people get lucky enough to have a blank checkbook, like Eric Bischoff with WCW. Some people get lucky.
So at the end of the day, if it's all down to Arsene Wenger, I don't know. But there's a lot of promises coming out of Arsenal from the likes of Gazidis, especially, where I've got to say is like, all right, fair enough. Everyone wants to put the blame on Arsene Wenger, but what is this guy Gazidis doing? Because I know, I want to just point this towards Mike and Jamie. I'm thinking, if you own a club or you're in a position where you can sign players for a club, then you go and consult your manager and you go, look, mate, we've got enough money to do this thing now this season. We've got enough money to take it to Man United and Manchester City. And then you go, so what are your possible candidates for me to go out there and sign for you? And then this guy, do you want me to go out and get Higuain? Do you want me to go out and get Guerrero? Do you want me to go out and get this player? And then he comes back and goes, no, don't worry about that. Get me a player, Sanogo. Would you think he was smoking or joking?
Combo both, really. them funny cigarettes.
Like, to me, how can you tell the fans we got 70 million to spend, but then your manager goes out and gets a person on free transfer? To me, that don't make sense. That's not logical. That's not logical. And yeah, you can put that all down to the manager. Like I said, fans can all put that down to the manager, but you got to look at the hierarchy, because that doesn't make sense. If you're saying we can spend 70 million and your manager is saying we only want to buy someone on a free, then I'm thinking from a logical standpoint, well, the board are on something serious, on PCP or something, because at the end of the day, what ambition is that? I'm telling you, mate, Liam, I'm going to give you £80, and you say, no, just give me £1. I'm going to look at you and think you're weird. Serious. That's my point of view.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's where I'm going to end it on the last question that you just asked. Is it because Arsenal haven't gone out and signed players that they needed in the right positions? I don't personally. This match is the first game of the season. It's 37 more games to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can lose your head. You can start crying. You can make vlogs. You can get out on the vlogs and start crying and talking about, oh, you love the club for how long and blah blah blah. You can do all of that, but come on, let's just keep a little bit of calm here. You know, yes, we can express our opinions and whatnot, yeah, and we're always going to have the boo boys, but come on, it's one game of 37. You know, things do change before the end of the season.
Hold on that point. In terms of change, I'll ask you this. I brought this up on Facebook, but I'll bring it up live. Do you think Arsene Wenger is not spending the money that he supposedly has in the transfer war chest because he's waiting for his contract to expire next season, and he's just basically riding out the remainder of his contract and leave it, and basically he wants to leave all that money to the next person coming in? And do you think him and the board have stabilised the club in the way they want to, so that the next manager to come in has all those resources and facilities to deal with, well, to inherit? Do you think that? Do you think Arsene Wenger's just kind of riding his time?
No, you know what? It's a good theory, and you know what? It could be true, but because you look at it, it's more of a long-term theory. No, but you know what? I do look at it, and it's a very good theory, and you know what? You never know. But at the end of the day, I've got to say is the way modern football clubs are run, yeah, and you're looking at how your competition is running their business. I don't believe that. I don't believe Arsene Wenger's way. He might have a philosophy where he wants to blood the youth. He might have a philosophy where he's gonna, you know, try and get the best out of the players that he's got, yeah. But at the end of the day, in every club there is someone there that pushes through transfers. In every club there is someone that pushes. Yeah, there might be managers who want to have more control, but at the end of the day, like, a manager's job is to manage the team. And at the end of if you own a club, you know, you want the best for your team as well. And to me, it's starting to look like the board, they don't know nothing about running this team. They don't know what's best for Arsenal. Like, in terms of, and I say this, not that I disagree with Arsene Wenger's philosophy. I say this because I'm one fan of many fans, yeah, that might have this opinion that, you know, things can change. But there are more fans now that overlap us that say, you know, we need players, we need change. Now, if you're not listening to the core, then there's something wrong. That's how I feel. That's the way I look at it. You know, I can argue all I want with other Arsenal fans and say blah blah blah, I don't agree with your opinions, but if they are the core, then, you know, they are the majority. In this modern day and age, you listen to the majority.
You know what? Holding on that point, it's now 3-0 to Manchester City. Yaya Toure has just scored a quality free kick on 50 minutes. But you know what? Yeah. Is one of them was Gman. Let us know if we've got anything on the socials. But first and foremost, so one of them was Mike Harniman. You wanted to jump in, and I'd like to ask that question that I asked to you as well. Do you think Wenger's just kind of riding out his time and leaving the money for the next person coming in, so that basically they've got that to work with in a year's time potentially? Mike Harniman, I want you to jump in on that. Then Jaymie Bailey, being that you two are Arsenal fans, but Mike, have at it.
Okay, I like your theory. I think it could be potentially something that they might be looking into, but I don't see why Wenger would do that. I don't know why any manager would do that. I think the money's there, so why not spend it now? Why hasn't he gone out and signed, you know, the likes of Higuain, who's gone off, Fellaini, and the other half a dozen players we've been linked with in the transfer window? There's been so many. Suarez is another one, exactly. There's so many. It's just, it annoys me. It really annoys me how Arsenal are going about this transfer window, and it's a joke. Wenger needs to do something, and he needs to do something now, because we lost to United a few seasons ago, and on that he actually went out and he brought Cazorla, he brought a load of other players that are actually good players, but he was forced into buying those players. And on this Villa game, the performance wasn't good enough. And basically on that, Wenger needs to do something. Gazidis can help him out and, you know, give him advice and whatever. But it's Wenger that needs to go out there and sign the players. And even Yohan Cabaye, we've been linked with him. He wouldn't even get in the squad. Literally, we have Arteta, we have Wilshere, we have, you know, Ramsey isn't all that. He's getting over Ramsey probably, but, you know, Gustavo, there's loads of other players.
Well, you're being linked to players that you don't need. I mean, for me, you lot need as Gman has said, a holding mid, a couple of defenders. Because at the moment, going to Fenerbahce on Wednesday, I think you've only got 3 fit defenders, out and out defenders, and it's like, this is exactly the same situation that we saw 2 seasons ago when you lot got pummeled 8-2 by United. Pummeled, annihilated, destroyed, merculated. How many other words can I say? But it's one of them ones where at the end of the day, panic buys are not going to solve anything. Andy Carroll.
And that's why Cabaye is a panic signing. If he signs him, when we've got Arteta, we've got the likes of Wilshere, we've got the likes of who else that can play in centre mid, Cazorla and whatever else, he wouldn't get in there. He will not get in the starting 11.
I mean, Jaymie Bailey, did you want to jump in quickly before we move on as well? Because time is pressing.
Yeah, I'm going to say it pretty much as I said last week. I've said it for the last 3 seasons, and I remember this whole conversation I had 2 seasons ago. And you know what the funny thing is? I still stand by it, unbelievably. Wenger needs to go. Now, I remember this conversation with Gman and Nathan saying, "Oh, if you're not a fan, then go support somebody else." If you say that you didn't say that, then cool, fair enough, whatever. But as far as I can see, you're not gonna change your mind, and I'm not gonna change mine. As far as I've seen, we've had Wenger long enough to say, you know what, if he was gonna change at some point. If you look at Sir Alex Ferguson, there was a lot of times where they said that he was gonna go, and what did he do? He made changes and sacrificed a bit of money just to win the trophy. So therefore, as much as he had to win it, we don't have to win it, but we still should be looking at challenging for a trophy, and we're not. So therefore, if you're saying that Wenger should stay, then all right, cool. Well, looks like I should go and support somebody else. And if I have to support QPR, I will. I'll change my colours to blue and white if I have to, just to please you guys. But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to be an Arsenal supporter, then I'd rather see something happen with my team, not just sitting for third and being happy with third and fourth place. So it's up to you. It's up to you guys. If you're still telling me go and support another team, then go ahead. As far as I'm concerned, as much as QPR haven't won a trophy, they're going places with Harry Redknapp, and they're not really favourites for the championship title, but at least we've got a chance of actually going back up. At least we've got a chance of doing something.
But I mean, it's one of them ones. I mean, I would never encourage someone to jump ship in terms of teams, because that's turncoat flexes and that's an embarrassment. That's a disgrace, in the words of Didier Drogba. But I mean, this kind of Wenger out issue is going to go long. It's going to go long, and it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going until something. It's going to keep going until something's done. But I mean, at the end of the day, Wenger's got a year left on his contract, and it's a case of will he stay? Will he go?
I just want to drop onto the end, yeah. Personally, the reason why I don't want to see Arsene Wenger go is because I think the job he's had to do, that other managers in the Premiership have had to do, hasn't been the easiest. No matter what anyone wants to say, when they sit down in 10 years time and they do research and they look at the financial implications and everything that Wenger has done, and I know it's not about finances, and I know everyone's going to say, well,
it is.
It's
in this game,
we're a football club and it's not about making money. I know everyone, but when you sit down and you actually rationally look at what he's done for the club in the last 8 years compared to what other clubs have done, no other club is keeping no other clubs are really keeping themselves over the green line. A lot of them are just in the red, but they've got rich owners to keep them there. Now, my opinion is, if Arsene Wenger had the money that he has, that other managers have had to their disposals, the Mourinhos, the Alex Fergusons, the Pellegrinis, the Ancelottis, the Mateos, whatever. I know I've just named a few managers from a few select few clubs, but I could go on and on. Just looking at Southampton, who just bought a £15 million player. Southampton bought a £50 million player. Where are they going to make that money back up? Someone please tell me where Southampton going to make £15 million up this season for that player. Where are they going to make the what? If Southampton flopped this season, what was the point in buying that player? I'm just looking at the scenario, but I'm just looking at this scenario as, I'm not looking at that though, but what I'm trying to say is, if Arsene Wenger had the sort of money to his disposal where it was just income coming from Usmanovs, just say, and had one season with that, that's when I would make a decision whether I think Arsene Wenger has to go, because I would say, look, he's had the chance to live the life of all these other managers and he hasn't taken it. Anyone that tells me, he's had 70 million or 150 million war chest, once you spend 150 million and 70 million out of a bank, you ain't got it no more. You can talk about the money coming back in next season, but again, if you flop, then you're going to lose sponsorship deals and all that type of things anyway. So whatever, you get me? These other clubs, they have the sponsorship deals, yet they have their billionaires, owners' money as well as. That's the whole point of what is being said around football at the moment. The whole poisonous situation with the money around football at the moment. That's just my opinion.
Well, no, I agree with you on that one, because look at how some clubs have spent over the past few years. Look at Pompey. So one of them was spending outside your means just to keep up with everyone else, and realizing that, well, you ain't got no more money because you spent it all. Where are you going to get money now? Loans. Yeah, good luck with that. It's one of them ones. And when you're spending money that's not yours, you're racking up interest, And it's one of them ones. What you end up doing, you end up paying loan. You end up bringing out more loans, taking out more loans, and it's a case of it's a dangerous circle, and you never get out of debt. So it's one of them ones where it's not about where you're always going to be in the red. It's just about how much. No, football clubs should not be ran like that. It should not be ran like that where people are spending beyond their means. So it's one of them ones. At the end of the day, if you're not making 50 million a year, you shouldn't be spending 70. You shouldn't be. If you have one exceptional season, mate, you got to offset that against 3, 4, 5 mediocre seasons. You got to look at this long term. But a lot of people get caught up in the short termism and want clubs to spend money like it's going out of fashion, which is silly.